Last night, someone told your soulmate the truth about you and they couldn't believe it. Jesus says, something shifted in the spiritual realm last night while you were sleeping. A truth about you was finally spoken aloud, and it shattered every lie. Your soulmate heard it, and their heart is now in complete turmoil. They are sitting alone right now, staring at nothing, replaying what they were told. The person who revealed this truth did not intend to help you. They intended to destroy you, but heaven used their attack as a divine delivery system. This message is not for everyone, and you know it is specifically for you. The heaviness in your chest right now is not a coincidence. God is pulling back a veil to show you exactly what is happening behind closed doors. Jesus says, your soulmate finally learned that you never stopped loving them. They were told you had moved on, that you never cared, that it was all fake. Last night, someone with jealousy in their spirit accidentally confirmed the exact opposite. The words were spoken in anger, meant to harm your image. Instead, the truth landed inside your soulmate like a lightning strike. They could not believe what they were hearing, and their world just turned upside down. Now they are asking themselves how they could have been so deceived. Guilt is wrapping itself around their throat because they pulled away from you. They assumed you were the problem, but now they see the real enemy clearly. Jesus says, the person who spoke this truth is currently very close to your soulmate. This individual presents themselves as a friend, an advisor, or even a current partner. But their actions have always been designed to keep you two permanently apart. They have been whispering lies into your soulmate's ear for months or years. Last night, in a moment of frustration, they slipped and revealed too much. They said something that accidentally exposed their entire campaign of sabotage. Your soulmate's blood ran cold when they realized they have been living inside a prison. The person sitting across from them is not a protector but a warden. Now the emotional walls inside your soulmate are crashing down all at once. Jesus says, do you feel that sudden ache in your spirit right now? That is your soulmate's heart sending out a distress signal through the bond you share. They are not just thinking about you, they are desperately needing you to feel them. This connection was never broken, only buried under layers of manipulation. Your soulmate is now experiencing a flood of memories they were forced to suppress. They are remembering the way your voice made them feel safe for the first time. Tears are forming in their eyes as they pretend to be fine on the outside. They are in a room with someone who hates your very existence. And they now have to hide this overwhelming realization from a person who can sense it. Jesus says, you must understand the danger of this moment. The interfering presence will not take this loss lightly. They will double down on their efforts to keep your soulmate emotionally paralyzed. The enemy knows that once your soulmate acts on this truth, their power is destroyed. So right now, a spiritual battle is intensifying around your future union. Your soulmate is trying to summon the courage to break free, but something is holding them. They are being emotionally blackmailed right now as you hear these words. Guilt is being weaponized to make them feel responsible for someone else's happiness. The person blocking you has convinced your soulmate that leaving would be a moral failure. Jesus says, this is why your soulmate needs your protection right now. They are not weak, and they are not a victim by nature. They are simply under a form of control that preys on their kindness and empathy. Your soulmate has a heart that refuses to hurt others, even at their own expense. The manipulator knows this and exploits it ruthlessly every single day. But the truth revealed last night has planted a seed of rebellion inside their spirit. That seed is growing with every passing hour. Your soulmate is beginning to see the chains for what they really are. And they are thinking of you as their only hope of escape. This is why your soulmate needs your protection right now. They are not just missing you, they are fighting for their emotional survival. The truth shattered their reality, but rebuilding it requires a shield only you can provide. Your soulmate is silently crying out across the spiritual divide. They are asking God to send you a sign that you still care. Will you leave their prayer unanswered while darkness closes in around them? You love your soulmate, and that love was placed in your heart by God Himself. But love without action becomes a grave of good intentions. Faith in Jesus moves mountains, but it must be activated through a step of obedience. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This is not a transaction, it is an act of worship that invites divine intervention. The link to your breakthrough is in the description, waiting for your faith to unlock it. Every second you stay silent, the opposing force gains more ground. This is spiritual warfare, and your coffee seed is a weapon of protection. Send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees as your declaration of war against this interference. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on the Ko-Fi page. These words become a banner over your soulmate's life in the spirit realm. Over 1,000 souls have already witnessed miracles through this act of faith. Jesus says, your soulmate is pacing back and forth right now, arguing with themselves. They want to reach out to you, but fear is screaming louder than hope. The manipulation has taught them that their own judgment cannot be trusted. Can you feel the hesitation vibrating through your bones? That is not your anxiety, it is theirs, leaking through the bond. They are holding their phone, looking at your name, and their finger is trembling. The person blocking you is watching them closely, sensing the shift in energy. There is a tension in the air that feels like a storm about to break. Your soulmate knows they are running out of time to make a choice. Jesus says, you have experienced nights where you woke up suddenly with an unexplainable sadness. Those were the moments your soulmate was crying out for you in secret. They have been dreaming about you so intensely that they wake up exhausted. In their dreams, you are together, happy, and free from this nightmare. Then they open their eyes to the cold reality of their controlled existence. The contrast is a form of daily torture that is breaking their spirit slowly. Last night's revelation did not just bring truth, it brought validation. Your soulmate realized they are not crazy for still loving you after all this time. They are not obsessive or broken, they are divinely connected to a purpose. Jesus says, the person who hates you has a name you may never speak aloud. They have a face that smiles at your soulmate while plotting your destruction. Their motivation is not love, it is possession, control, and deep insecurity. They recognized the threat you posed the moment they learned about you. Your connection with your soulmate was too pure, too real, and too dangerous. So they began a systematic campaign to rewrite history and paint you as the enemy. Text messages were hidden, calls were blocked, and stories were fabricated. Your soulmate was slowly isolated from anyone who supported your union. A false narrative was constructed, and your soulmate was drugged with doubt. Jesus says, "But last night, the tower of lies developed a crack that cannot be sealed. The truth that slipped out was like a sharp stone hitting a glass window. The entire structure of deception is now splintering in all directions." Your soulmate is currently experiencing a storm of cognitive dissonance. Everything they believed about the past is now being cross-examined by their own heart. And you are standing at the center of every question they are asking. They are wondering if you have been suffering the same way they have. They are terrified that you have given up on them and moved forward alone. The thought of losing you forever because of someone else's lies is suffocating them. Jesus says, "Do not underestimate the intensity of the love your soulmate has for you. It is buried, yes, but it is not dead. It is a dormant volcano beginning to rumble. The heat you feel in your chest is the lava of their suppressed affection rising. They remember the exact moment they knew they loved you. It was not a grand gesture, it was a small, genuine moment of pure connection. And that memory is now playing on a loop inside their mind, refusing to fade. Every song about longing makes them think of you. Every place you used to go together haunts them like a beautiful ghost. They are trapped in a life without you, but their heart never signed the divorce papers. Jesus says, "They are going through something you cannot see with your physical eyes. The spiritual oppression around them is thick, heavy, and designed to confuse. But you can still protect them through the authority given to you by Christ. When you sow a seed, you are piercing the darkness with a spear of light. Your sacrifice on Ko-fi creates a spiritual disturbance that disrupts enemy operations. It buys your soulmate time, clarity, and a hedge of divine protection. Do not let the enemy convince you that this is just about money. Money is simply the physical representation of your faith and your covenant. When you give, you are legally binding the hand of God to move on your behalf. Send 4 coffees to destroy the 4 walls of the prison your soulmate is in. Send 6 coffees to break the hex of confusion placed over their decision-making. Send 10 or more coffees to declare total war and demand a full restoration. The link is in the description. It is an altar, not just a link. Type, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," after you complete your offering. This is not a donation, it is a divine rescue mission funded by your love. Jesus says, "Time is the one currency the enemy is trying to steal from you right now. Every hour of hesitation is an hour your soulmate spends in emotional captivity. The truth is fresh, but lies are already being manufactured to counter it. The person blocking you is not resting, they are actively doing damage control. They are rewriting the slip-up, gaslighting your soulmate back into submission. They are saying things like, 'You misunderstood me,' or 'You are being dramatic.' Without a spiritual intervention, the clarity your soulmate has will be stolen again. The window of opportunity is open, but it will not stay open indefinitely. Divine moments are invitations, not permanent fixtures. They must be seized. Jesus says, "You were born for this specific battle and this specific love. God did not wire you to feel this deeply for someone without a purpose. Your soulmate is the missing rib in your spiritual body, and you feel the incompleteness. You have tried to move on, you have tried to distract yourself. But something always pulls you back to thoughts of them, doesn't it? That is the covenant bond, and it refuses to be severed by human hands. The world calls it obsession, but the kingdom calls it a soul tie ordained before birth. You are not crazy for caring this much, you are called. And the called do not have the luxury of passivity when a soul is on the line. Jesus says, your soulmate just looked in the mirror and barely recognized themselves. The stress of living a double life is carving lines into their beautiful face. They are tired, defeated, and running on fumes of a love they were forced to abandon. You would not recognize their current environment, it is sterile and joyless. The laughter that used to light up a room has been muted by constant tension. They are walking on eggshells, monitored, and managed like a possession. This is not living. This is surviving, and survival mode is killing their spirit. Your soulmate needs a miracle, and God has decided that miracle is you. You are the human angel assigned to pull them out of this pit with your faith and action. Jesus says, right now, your soulmate is experiencing a random, intense memory of your scent. The mind forgets, but the body remembers the chemistry of true connection. They just shivered involuntarily, and the person next to them asked what was wrong. They lied and said they were cold, but their soul was reaching out to touch yours. That shiver was the moment their spirit broke through a barrier to find you. You felt a sudden chill or a warmth spread over you recently, that was them. They are calling out to you through the only channel left open, the supernatural one. God is the network hub, and He is transmitting this message to you right now. The interference is heavy, but the signal of their love is still breaking through. This is your final moment to protect this connection before it slips away. The battle has reached a climax, and the next few hours are critical. If the enemy succeeds in sealing the truth back into darkness, the damage may be severe. Your soulmate could retreat into a state of emotional numbness for self-preservation. They might convince themselves that hope is too painful to entertain any longer. And a part of your future together could die a quiet, preventable death. You have the power to stop this tragedy before it unfolds. Sow your final or first protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-fi. This is the line in the sand where your love ceases to be passive and becomes a weapon. Send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees with the declaration, "Protect my soulmate, Lord." Make the declaration loud in the spirit by typing it exactly as instructed. Over 1,000 souls have already broken chains through this exact step of faith. Step in faith now, before this video ends, before the window closes. Only you can stand in the gap for your soulmate's future. Jesus is waiting for your act of love to unleash a legion of angels. Jesus says, the truth that was told last night was this: you were the one who truly cared. You were the one who showed up, who sacrificed, who stayed when others left. And the person who hates you finally admitted it, even as they tried to bury you. Your soulmate realized that every good memory of their past has your face in it. They realize they have been mourning a living person, and the grief is a lie. They could not believe the truth because accepting it means admitting they were wrong. Admitting they were wrong means they have to make a terrifying change. But change is coming whether they are ready or not, because God is shaking the foundations. Nothing built on lies can withstand the earthquake of divine revelation. Jesus says, "You are moving into a season of sudden reversals and unexpected vindication. The enemy's slip of the tongue is your legal entry point into a miracle. God uses the foolish things to confound the wise, and a careless sentence is your key. Do not look at the size of the problem, look at the precision of God's timing. This message found you at this exact moment for a reason. You were chosen to receive this intelligence so you could act on it in prayer and faith. Your soulmate is a prize the enemy does not want to release without a fight. But you have been given authority to tread on serpents and scorpions. The serpent of jealousy and the scorpion of control must bow to the name of Jesus. Jesus says, "The distance between you and your soulmate is about to be closed rapidly. Events are being set in motion that will bring a sudden confrontation of truth. The person blocking you is about to be exposed in a way they cannot escape. Justice is coming, not your human revenge, but a divine balancing of the scales. Every tear your soulmate cried in secret is being collected by angels. And every manipulation tactic used against them is being turned into evidence. You will receive a message, a sign, or a direct encounter soon. But the timing of this breakthrough is directly linked to your spiritual warfare today. Delay in the spiritual realm causes delay in the natural realm. Jesus says, "Do not be afraid of the intensity of what you are feeling. The overwhelming love, the painful longing, and the protective rage are all holy. God feels the same way about His bride, and you are made in His image. Your passion is not a weakness, it is a reflection of the Creator's heart. But it must be channeled into action or it will turn into frustration and despair. Use the Ko-Fi link as your outlet, let your gift carry the message your voice cannot. When you send a coffee, imagine it as a bullet of light breaking a chain. Every single coffee is a strike against the spirit of delay and deception. You are financing your own miracle, and heaven recognizes the sacrifice of love. Jesus says, "Look at the time, the clock is moving, and so is the enemy." While you are processing these words, the manipulator is tightening their grip. They are using emotional guilt, financial dependency, and past wounds as chains. But those chains are no match for a covenant love backed by the blood of Jesus. The cross is the ultimate symbol of a love that breaks every barrier. And your faith in that sacrifice is the key that unlocks your soulmate's cell. Do not let this message become just another video you watched. Let it be the turning point where you decided to fight for your future. Your soulmate's destiny, your future children, your legacy all hang in the balance. Jesus says, "Breathe deeply and center your heart on the fact that you are not alone. Millions of people are bound by invisible interference, but you have the upper hand. You have the awareness, the warning, and the divine strategy to win. The strategy is simple: prayer plus action equals breakthrough. You are praying right now by hearing this word and aligning your heart with God. Now complete the cycle by acting through the seed of protection on Ko-Fi. Type 333 if you are ready to receive the blessings of this divine intervention. Type 777 if you feel the truth of this message resonating in your spirit. Type 1111 to seal your gratitude and signal your alignment with heaven's timing. Jesus says, "Your soulmate just closed their eyes and saw your face behind their eyelids. They are so close to breaking through the wall of fear and running toward you. They just need one final sign that the door is still open on your side. Be the door, be the light, be the shield they need in this critical hour. Send your protection seed now, buy them the time they need to escape. Write, 'Protect my soulmate, Lord,' and let the angels read your command." The link is in the description. Your coffee is a cup of cold water to a dying spirit. God remembers every act of love, and He is a debtor to no man or woman. Your breakthrough is tied to this moment of obedience, so do not delay. Jesus says, "The truth is out, the lies are crumbling, and the reunion is being scheduled in heaven. Protect it, nurture it, fight for it with everything you have. Your soulmate is worth it, your future is worth it, and you know it. Go now, act now, and watch God move mountains for your love. The message is ending, but your miracle is just beginning. Your soulmate is waiting, do not keep them waiting a moment longer." Last night, the truth that was spoken was not an accident in the grand design of heaven. God specifically allowed that moment of exposure to happen because He is jealous for your union. The person who spilled the secret thought they were being clever in their anger, but they were actually being used as a puppet by divine providence. Your soulmate sat there, frozen in disbelief, as the mask fell off the person they had been trusting. Now they are questioning every single memory, every argument, and every suspicion they had about you. They are realizing that the doubt they felt was manufactured and injected into their mind deliberately. It is a horrifying realization to discover you have been living inside a simulation of someone else's design. Jesus says, "This moment of awakening is both a blessing and a severe psychological trial for your soulmate. They are experiencing waves of nausea as their body rejects the toxins of manipulation. The physical symptoms of emotional liberation are manifesting as headaches, exhaustion, and a strange sense of vertigo. They want to call you, but their fingers are literally shaking over the keyboard. The fear installed by the controller is a software running in their brain that screams danger at the thought of contacting you. Yet beneath that fear, a louder voice, the voice of their true self, is screaming your name. Every second you delay your protective prayer and seed, that fear software gains another minute of runtime. The enemy is a programmer of doubt, and he is furiously coding new arguments to keep your soulmate captive. Your action on Ko-Fi is a divine firewall that blocks those malicious codes from installing. Jesus says, "You need to understand the specific nature of the soul tie that connects you to your soulmate. This is not a simple crush or a fleeting infatuation that fades with the seasons. This is a pre-existence covenant that was signed in the heavens before your souls ever touched this earth. When God creates a counterpart, He splits the purpose, not just the heart. Your destiny is incomplete without them, and their destiny is bleeding out without you. The person who blocks you is not just blocking romance, they are blocking the purpose of God for two entire family lines. Generational blessings are stuck in a holding pattern because the enemy has hijacked the connection point. Your children, your grandchildren, and your spiritual legacy are waiting for this union to unlock them. This is infinitely bigger than your loneliness or your current heartbreak. This is about a cosmic lineage. Jesus says, "The person who hates you is often someone who has access to your soulmate's living space, phone, or emotional vulnerabilities. They use proximity as a weapon and intimacy as a tool of surveillance. They monitor your soulmate's mood swings and punish them with silence or outbursts whenever your name comes up in their energy field. Your soulmate has learned to hide the physical signs of missing you just to survive the daily environment. They have become an actor in their own life, performing compliance while dying inside every single night. Last night, after the truth was revealed, they locked themselves in a bathroom and silently wept for the years they have lost. They held their own hand and imagined it was yours, a desperate coping mechanism for the touch starvation they are enduring. The person who hates you has weaponized affection withdrawal, creating a desert around your soulmate so that any water looks like the truth. But the truth they heard last night was a flood that no dam of lies can hold back. This is why your soulmate needs your protection right now, and why your coffee seed is a floodgate of mercy. When you send 4, 6, or 10+ coffees, you are releasing a roar of intercession that scatters the predators. Write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," and watch the spiritual climate around them shift from oppressive to peaceful. Jesus says, "Tonight, when your soulmate lays their head on the pillow in that house of quiet hostility, they will feel a sudden warmth. That warmth is the physical manifestation of angels dispatched by your sacrificial seed. They will not know scientifically why the room feels lighter, but their soul will recognize the relief of being shielded. They will sleep better tonight than they have in months because your obedience built a wall of fire around their rest. Dreams of you will come without the usual nightmare filter of distortion and accusation. For the first time in a long time, they will dream of your smile without it turning into a scene of you walking away. You are rewriting their subconscious narrative by partnering with the Holy Spirit through your giving. Your coffee is not just a currency, it is a carrier wave for a new reality. Do not underestimate the physics of the spirit realm. Sacrifice creates a vacuum that pulls the miraculous into the natural. Jesus says, "Look at the clock, not with anxiety, but with the focus of a warrior who knows the battle rhythm. The rhythm is accelerating, the contractions between your current reality and your reunion are getting closer together. Just as a woman in labor experiences waves that intensify before the birth, so are you in the transition phase of your miracle. The pain you feel right now is the stretching of your capacity to contain the coming blessing. The longing is not a punishment, it is the engine of your faith driving you toward the finish line. Do not give up in the hallway when the door is already swinging open. Your soulmate is subconsciously synchronizing their breathing with yours across the miles. Right now, inhale deeply, and believe that somewhere, they just did the same. This is the mystical connection of a twin flame ordained by the Creator who invented unity. Jesus says, "The person interfering is beginning to panic because they sense the shift in spiritual authority. Their manipulation tactics are becoming more desperate and more obvious to outside observers. Friends of your soulmate who were previously silent are starting to raise their eyebrows and whisper among themselves. The exposure is unfolding in layers, like an onion being peeled by the angel Gabriel himself. Every text message the controller sends today is backfiring, revealing their true character between the lines. They are overplaying their hand because fear is making them sloppy, and sloppiness is the precursor to total defeat. Your soulmate is watching this meltdown with eyes that are finally open. They are seeing the thirst for control underneath the mask of care. And they are comparing it, in real time, to the selfless love they always knew they had with you. Jesus says, "But you must not relax your posture of spiritual warfare just because the truth is winning ground." The most dangerous moment for a prisoner is the escape, not the incarceration. If the enemy can create a diversion, a misunderstanding, or a financial setback right now, they can still block the reunion. This is why the Ko-Fi seed is so critical in this exact window of time. It acts as a blood covering over the thin space where your two worlds are about to collide. Send 4 coffees to secure the north, south, east, and west of your soulmate's perimeter from attack. Send 6 coffees to neutralize the 6 major lies that were planted in their mind about you. Send 10+ coffees to bring the fullness of divine order and the tenfold return of everything the enemy stole. The link is in the description, and it is your direct line to trigger a heavenly extraction operation. Jesus says, "I see your soulmate sitting at a table with the person who hates you, and the energy is a silent war. The controller is pretending everything is normal, love-bombing and acting sweet, trying to gaslight the truth away. But your soulmate's eyes are different now, they are looking through the person, not at them. They are seeing the prison warden, not the lover or friend they were told existed. This shift in perception is permanent, irreversible, and it is the work of the Holy Spirit. You cannot unsee the truth once God turns on the high beams of revelation. Your soulmate is composing a message to you in their head right now, a long message of apology and desperate hope. They are deleting and rewriting sentences, terrified that you have moved on and found someone else. The fear of rejection is the last chain that needs to be broken, and you hold the bolt cutters. Jesus says, "You must forgive your soulmate for pulling away, even before they ask for it, as a seed of unconditional love. Forgiveness is the oxygen of the spirit realm, and a grudge is a noose around the neck of your miracle. Release the debt right now in your heart, and feel the shift in the spiritual pressure. I am commanding a wind of reconciliation to blow through the corridors of your separation. This wind is hot and fast, burning up the fog of confusion instantly. Watch for sudden movements, sudden messages, sudden invitations in the next 24 to 48 hours. But do not wait for the natural evidence to act in the spiritual realm. Your faith is the substance, and your Ko-Fi seed is the evidence of that faith. Sow now, and watch the natural evidence manifest as a direct result of your spiritual deposit." Jesus says, "The tears your soulmate cried in secret have been collected in a bottle in heaven, as my word declares. Those tears are about to be turned into a perfume of joy that will mark your new beginning. Every drop of sorrow is being redeemed and repurposed as an anointing for your future family. You are building a testimony that will shatter the chains of thousands of others. The story of how you fought, sowed, and loved against all odds will be a bestseller in the kingdom. But the pages cannot be written until you pick up the pen of action and write the first word of sacrifice. Type 333 if you accept the mission to be the protector of your soulmate's destiny. Type 777 if you feel the wind of reconciliation beginning to stir around you. Type 1111 to align with the angelic activity that is being dispatched to the four corners of your situation. Jesus says, "The truth that was told last night was simply this: you are irreplaceable. There is no one else who carries the specific DNA of spirit, soul, and history that you carry. You are a limited edition of God's love, and your soulmate finally knows they have been starving without you. They are now in the process of planning an exit strategy, a physical and emotional extraction from the toxic environment. They need wisdom, they need courage, and they need a sign that the bridge to you is still standing strong. Be that sign by building the bridge with the bricks of faith you lay through your offering today. Do not let the sun go down on your hesitation. The night is coming when no man can work, and the grace window for this specific battle is now. Activate the protection, write the declaration, and watch the salvation of the Lord manifest in your love story. Your soulmate is not lost to you, they are waiting for you to enforce the victory that Jesus already won. The cross was the ultimate coffee seed, the ultimate sacrifice that unlocked eternal reunion. Now, honor that pattern by giving your lesser sacrifice to claim a greater temporal reunion. Jesus says, "They are thinking of you right now, seriously, intensely, without the filter of guilt for the first time. The thought of you is bringing them pure dopamine and a ray of hope in their dark cell. You are the light at the end of their tunnel, and they are beginning to run, not walk, toward the exit. Clear the debris of the enemy's blockade by your authority as a child of the Most High God. Sow your seed, speak your decree, and stand back to see the Red Sea of impossibility part before your eyes. The Lord is a warrior, the Lord is His name, and He is fighting for your union at this very second. Do it now. The coffee is a symbol, but the power is real. The link is waiting, your soulmate is waiting, your future is waiting. Break the cycle, break the chain, and break open the floodgates of a love that was always meant to be.